Lord Jesus, we just thank you so much, Father, that you give us this time to be together as brothers and sisters in Christ, to learn about the blessings of TA in a Sunday school classroom, and what's beyond even that. So I thank you, Father. On this day, we want to remember what's going on in the news with this Malaysian aircraft. That, as far as I know, we are still not finding 239 souls. So, Father, we just pray for, I pray for the investigators. I want to pray for the families. I want to pray for those who are deeply hurting today because they do not know where their loved ones are. We just pray wisdom for everyone that's involved in that, and that there will be a quick finding and determination of what happened to that airplane. And so we lift up this next hour to you, and we thank you in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, my name is Keri, and thank you for coming and being here. In your book, we're talking about TA and beyond, considering to become a TA. And I hope you have a pencil. I think you guys do. You're doing the workshop all day. Your first blank in your book, we can't overemphasize the strategic importance of this position within the Sunday school classroom. How many in here have done TA work before? And how many have never? You have. Okay, wow, we're like half and half. You have back there as well. Okay. God wants a community of leaders with one purpose, right? The advancement of His kingdom. This is not to build a ministry. This is to build a kingdom, right? Kingdom work. Something I want to tell you as far as changing ministry. If you're considering TA but you've never done it before, I want you to consider the experience of the Apostle John in the book of Revelation in chapter 1. John was exiled to the island of Patmos. He had been preaching for several years. He finished writing 3rd John. He was preaching, itinerary preacher. He offended the wrong group of people. They threw him in jail and to do hard labor. At this time, John is about 90 years of age and has to do hard labor. But God visited him while he was there in the island. And God told him, John, who was a people person. John was a preacher, right? He was very much into people. God said, John, I want you to stop and I want you to write. Change your ministry. This is what you're going to do now for me. And then God gave him the vision of His glory, right? And Revelation. So as we go through our lives, consider different ministries. Consider throughout, our Christian walk, God's going to bring us to do different things. Be open to it. That's God talking to us, using us. So I like that example. I like Psalm 102:18. Isn't this a beautiful verse? Let this be written for a future generation, that a people not yet created may praise the Lord. So that's our hope too, right? As we raise up this generation with a biblical literacy, if we lose them, we're losing much more than just this generation. We can't lose anybody. We definitely can't lose a generation. We are becoming less and less Bible literate. I don't know. I have a handout actually for you guys. I wasn't able to bring it out there. All the alarming statistics. Here you go, dear. Take a look at that and tell me which one speaks to you when you see these statistics. I'm sorry, it's a little bit hard to read. This is the emerging generation. I'm not going to run through it, but looking at the top, does anyone want to share one of those that speaks to you? tell you the one that definitely talks to me is the 48 hours of mass media that our young people are consuming, right? Not only the Facebook, but there's all kinds of new applications. My daughter's on Kick all the time with friends, texting all the time. My son sent, in 1 month, he sent 8,000 text messages. And so, yeah, so that kind of hit me like, I really don't know what's going on with my kids. So there's this level of intimacy that's being developed that is really beyond our control. So there's a lot of emerging generation statistics here. And when I see this, it speaks to me. It should be a little bit alarming to us, and it should also be a little inspiring to us, right? We can't lose a generation. Okay, but I don't want to get off topic. We're doing work for future generation. This is an underrated, underappreciated position in the classroom. We wanted to have a workshop about it because it's really crucial. And I'm going to show you a couple films. It's really crucial. A few reasons. Number one, the satisfaction of helping students overcome what? What does a student overcome? Hurdles in the classroom, right? I'm not going to read everything because we won't have time, but I'm going to tell you what the blanks are. Why would you consider to become a TA, right? You have a satisfaction to help students overcome hurdle. You have the satisfaction to watch the light moment, right? When you're teaching student, helping students, TA has a chance to sidle up to one student and have that relationship and also know that student. That's a privilege. A teacher may not have that. Teacher has to teach to 30 or 40. TA can focus, I know that student, I need to help that student. I'm going to make a relationship with that student, right? That's their privilege to do. They get to watch the eureka moment with that student when the understanding comes. Every Sunday is different, third blank. Every Sunday is different, right? You come in, your students have had a different week, their parents have had a different week, every Sunday is different. So that is also your privilege to be there for your student. Ministry is a marathon, not a sprint. I'm on the next page. I'm going to keep flying through. So what can you do as a TA in your classroom? You have the ability to use what? Your what? Your talent, your unique skills. Your unique skills come out when you're in the classroom. Don't lose that God-given uniqueness, right? Yes, to a certain extent we can fall within a mold because we want to do as we're supposed to do, right? There's certain behaviors that we want to encourage, discourage, etc. But be yourself in the classroom. Bring your whole self to Sunday school and love on those children. And they will appreciate that. And they'll see your gentleness and your sincerity. Okay, the next blank is, being a TA is a stepping stone to further qualifications. For example, at our campus, ECC Redmond, we have a 3-month mentoring model. So you will become a TA for 3 months before you get to be a teacher. Most of them. So that becomes stepping stone, okay? And last but not least, why do you want to become a TA? Why would anybody consider it? What's the number one reason you get involved with children's ministry? Come on. Why do you get involved with children's ministry? God's work, but what is... You love it, you love who? You love the children, the students. Absolutely, you love the student. You love that vulnerable, little, wide-eyed, welcoming, listen to whatever you say. They love it. They're sponges, they love it. I just heard we reminded them something from the past workshop. That was interesting. The student. At the end of the day, the best part of being TA is your class, okay, is the students. As a TA, you are uniquely staged to provide the one-on-one encouragement and the relationship to bridge the student through this childhood-long strategy. What keeps kids in a church? What keeps kids in a church? Kids grow, go through our programs, become youth, go through youth, become college, go through college, sometime college, then they... Okay, good. Friends, okay, good. Other being loved, right. Relationships. Relationships makes us feel like, yeah, this is my church. This is my church. You have that unique position to build relationship with many students when you're in the classroom. And when you build with a student, you're also building with what? Their parent, right? You're building some respect with their parents. So it's a great way to get to know families. When I went to the conference, the Children's Pastors Conference, Sharon and I and Grace went in January. And I'm going to offer this, I'm going to put a sign-up sheet. If you want a soft copy of this, I will give to you. I'll send it to you. There's a childhood-long strategy to raising kids and giving them biblical wisdom. I really was compelled by this information, and I thought it was so right on. You know, you single thread your ministry with 3 single words through the toddler, early elementary, and later elementary, and it's just such a foundation. So I included part of it in your book right there, where we start, see that childhood-long strategy, respect, wisdom, and grace. So next page. Here's where we start with a toddler and preschool with teaching respect in early childhood. If our students don't have the respect of parents, they will not be able to respect God. It'll be a really hard leap for them. So we need to teach respect to our parents. The example we're using is Genesis chapter 39. Do you remember what was going on there? Joseph was being tempted by somebody. Potiphar's wife, right? Potiphar's wife. Joseph was in his mid to late 20s, striking, handsome, built young man. The only thing Potiphar's wife probably could not have. And the only thing Joseph did not want was Potiphar's wife. And so, you know the story. She tempted him, she sinned. She sinned, right? She took his cloak and she made a claim against him. And when she was asking Joseph, Joseph said to her, "Why would I do this and sin against God?" Joseph knew it's not a sin. Sexual sin is sin against, not just between consenting adults. It's a sin against God. And Joseph knew that. That's the respect Joseph had from a very young age. Even his life was so incredible. In early elementary, we will start talking about wisdom. So that one word thread will go through all of our programs. And then middle elementary, we will start talking about grace. What's the beginning of wisdom? It's in your handout. What's the beginning of wisdom? What's the fear of the Lord? What's it mean, fear? I don't think our students can understand this all the time, right? Sometimes it's a struggle for us to understand. Fear means what?
Respect.
Respect. Foundational, awe-filled respect. The respect of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. All who follow his precepts have good understanding. To him belongs eternal praise. The respect of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. The awe-filled respect of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. The awe-filled respect of the Lord is a fountain of life, that one may turn away from the snares of death. Okay, your next blank. Something that we have to remember when we're raising our kids and teaching our kids, respect is not obedience. Is a very big difference. Many times our students will be obedient, but obedience doesn't mean their heart is in the right place, doesn't it? It means they can act right, it looks right, but it's not necessarily really deep in their heart. So something for us to remember, respect is not obedience. Respect is a heart issue. It has to do with how your child thinks. Teaching children respect is the childhood long process, but it comes first. Therefore, it should begin as soon as possible. Okay, 3 objectives for respect. The first one, we need to respect human authority. Who's the first in a child's life they need to respect? Parents. Then from parents becomes teacher. From teacher maybe becomes
Manager.
okay, friends, good. Who? Then what?
Manager.
Manager, boss. Then what?
President. President.
Government, okay, good. What else?
President.
Okay, president, government. Who else?
Spouse.
Spouse. Teaching a child in toddler and elementary to respect God is like giving them a good marriage. Wow. Does it come home now? How huge it is. What a gift it is. What a talent, what a privilege we have to teach them to respect. So many marriages crumbling today. They're not fighting it out. They don't have the strength. So respect for human authority. Once they respect human, then they can respect who? God. Then they can make that leap. They understand. They respect mom and dad. Mom and dad talk to them about God, about Jesus, about a Savior, which is a concept, takes time to develop. Teach a child about sin. Takes time to develop. Don't be afraid to repeat. Repeat, 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 repeat. We absolutely should. Be a broken record for God. It's okay. Kids need to hear it. I don't know if you've been to Kumon. Kumon education.
Oh, yeah.
Repeat, 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 repeat. Okay, that's the same. Number 3. 2 was respect for God. Number 3, respect for God's standards. God's standards. They must, we've already said this, they must respect human authority, they must learn what God is like, and they must see others respect authority. Okay, step number 1. This one was tough when I was in the conference. You must be worthy of respect. And the speaker was saying, if you are yelling at your kids, you need to stop now. You need to absolutely stop now. And I heard sobbing in the room. And I knew, wow, the Spirit of God is working. There are people, because of how either we were raised or the struggles we have, it's hard for us not to sometimes erupt, right? So we have to be, especially if you want to be in children's ministry, you better constantly surrender, right? Surrender that energy, surrender that passion, give it to God. These are your hands, these are your feet. This is your heart, this is your lips, right? And let God do it. So be worthy of respect. When you're worthy, you're giving your kids a gift that is priceless. It cannot be measured, right? How do you count the value of a good marriage? Last for many, 40, 50 years. It's priceless. These are the gifts we're giving our kids. Number 2, in order to work respect into our program, we must train for respect. What does it mean to train? Training, what does it mean? What is Proverbs 22:6? I'm sure most of us can quote it. What is that? Nobody knows? Proverbs 22:6? The first word is train. Train up a child in the way he should go, right? Remember that? It's a new group. It's okay. Train up a child in the way he should grow. When he's old, he won't depart from it. The first word is train. It means you do it many times. It's not you do it again and again. Maybe you make a mistake, you go back. You do it again and again. It's a training. It's a training. Number 3, teach children to respect the awesomeness and authority of God. The awesomeness of God. Even the creation story, right? Where what I love about creation story, when it talks about the Spirit of God hovering on the waters, right? The Spirit of God having that immense creative power, just pausing there, ready to just erupt into life. And I tell the students, that same Spirit is the same Spirit that lives in you and lives in me. In you and me. That's the same power that we have. The same strength and energy and passion and love from God that we have is that Spirit. That's kind of the awesomeness of God. Gives you an idea. It's incredible. Okay, let's turn the page. So, I've told you all this, but what does a great TA actually even do? Let's talk about, actually I'm going to let you watch, and then you're going to tell me what a great TA does. Here it is. I don't want you to be distracted. There it is. Okay, let's stop, back. Okay, just watch. Watch the TA, see what. See, the students are trained, they know what to do. They're putting all their mats away, their books away. They know what's next. What do you observe this TA doing?
Facilitating.
Just speak up.
Facilitating.
Okay.
And putting things on the table.
Okay. Preparing the lesson, putting it on the table. What else? She did many things, right? She did many things from the beginning. Remember what she did in the beginning? Hmm? Oh, the crayon? Yeah, right. Yep, she's preparing everything from on the table. Let's go back. From the beginning.
What's the bottom?
Oh, sorry.
I think it's top blue.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
here, can I just go all the way back?
Yeah. It's
The
not-
blue line.
you can just click on the
bar.
on the bar
Top
on the top.
bar.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah, that's one.
This one?
Yeah, drag.
I couldn't see the progress bars. Where is it? Okay,
that's all.
okay, we can talk our way through it. You guys are so quiet.
Okay.
Okay, TA's preparing, right? Preparing the table.
And
Watching, do you see her look at the students?
observation.
Observation, watching the students that they are not misbehaving, or she doesn't need to do something with them. She's constantly watching. Okay, so she's preparing. This is huge because the teacher can't do that and teach at the same time. Look, what's she doing there?
Observation.
Counting.
Counting.
Who's counting, right? Well, how many do I need? How many students do I have? Now she's ready. Now she's just ready. Watching. Yep. Observing students. Now she sees that, okay, one is needs some help, so she'll go help a student. They're praying, she's helping them to pray. I think you see, not everything can be intuitive, what we need to do. Yeah. She'll help hold. Yeah, and then we kind of saw it from here. Okay, that's one video. Any comments? Any thoughts? Okay, we can all see the value, right? How huge it is as a support person. Okay, let me show you. Next one. Okay. Let's see what she's doing here. So we have the felt board going on, the story. The kids really like the visual aids at this age. They really like it. She's helping individual need of that student. She's not sitting at the table, is she? Just waiting for kids to finish. She was seeing the individual needs of the students there. Okay, let's do the last one. This TA is amazing. She's a busy lady. Watch these kids. The student is getting out of the way.
Make it outer.
Put out the fire.
Mm-hmm. And she's helping, pushing students back, getting too close. Mm-hmm. The teacher keeps repeating, same lesson again, same thought. Yep. Here's the boat, 2 by 2. Mhm. Water comes up. The TA is very busy, you see? The student needs a lot of attention. This age groups are busy. Hope she knows what the teacher needs. She's a good TA, right? So very busy. Those are the kind of tasks the TA will do, right? Other than the TLC, what's TLC? Tender loving care, right? Tender loving care to student. With the teacher, your 1B on this page here. With the teacher, the number one thing is communication. Both verbal and nonverbal communication. That seems pretty intuitive, and it's really true. You know, prepare for your class, pray together before you start, communicate what is the intent of the lesson, etc. How and when to be sensitive and to initiate for needs. How to help when the child is losing attention? What did we observe there? When the child is not paying attention, what do we do in the classroom? What can a TA do?
Next to the child.
Sit next to the child, yeah? What else?
Guide.
Guide them. Speak to them. Say, oh, let's do this now. Rather than saying, don't do this, we can say, let's do this. You know, we don't have to use a negative. When they are distracted, especially in the fall quarter. Fall quarter is the toughest quarter, right? Because for many of our younger ones, that's a separation from parents, first time. So that is a really tough quarter. In toddler department and in preschool department too. So how to distract and ease that anxiety, that's really helpful. The TA to spend extra time with those students that need help. When a TA serves regularly and effectively, how do the children begin to feel?
Comfortable.
Comfortable. What else?
Here,
Secure. What else? What are you building? Relationship, right? What else?
smooth.
Hmm?
The class goes smooth.
Smooth, very good, yeah. Begin to get a rhythm, right? Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice when you're serving God? And you can come and you're comfortable. You know, we're all called to a life of service. I don't know if you knew that. We're all called to a life of service. We are all serving somebody 24/7, right? It's true. We're all serving somebody every day, every moment. So what church does, it make it very convenient for you to serve God, right? Everything's here, all set up, ready to go. Spend some time, in serving God, serving the children. We're doing it anyway. We're here anyway. So it's wonderful. You make child feel loved, cared, secured, and safe. And guess what? Guess what is keeping our children safe? It's not the little piece of paper you get when you check your child in. That doesn't keep your child safe. What keeps our children safe? What keeps our kids safe?
You mean physically or spiritually?
Physically safe. In our campus, what keeps them safe? Or I should say, who keeps them safe?
Stay together.
Who keeps our volunteers? Our volunteers keep our children safe. Not the fact that a parent has a piece of paper. That's good, that's our process, we need to follow that, but that doesn't keep our child safe. What keeps them safe is you have relationships with your students. You know who their parents are. You know the person coming to get them. It belongs to that family, right? And the family knows you. So you keep our kids safe. huge, okay? It's huge. And as you remember the strengths and weaknesses of each child, and you start to shore them up, you start to help them, that's huge too. You and a parent working together, really creating a strong generation of believers. We can't lose a generation, right? We're really in trouble if we lose them. So let's keep them safe. I want to hear from the veteran TAs. How many is it in the room? I know we had some. Who would like to speak to tell us your experience as a TA? Something would you like to share with the class? Go ahead.
Okay, so my son right now is sitting. Okay, so I have two boys. My name is Charles. Now one is 6, one is 3. I started to do the TA when the little one was 1.5 years old. So I was with Wendy. Wendy was a teacher at that time. So the reason I think Ella asked me to share it. So the reason I want to be a TA, I think that I have been a Christian for like more than 10 years, right? But everybody wants to find a way, at some moment, you want to find a way to serve God, right?
Yes.
But I know I'm not very strong enough, say, to be co-workers in the small group as a small group leaders, so starting from little things, right? So that's why I find, because I love the kids, I have 2 boys, so I started from the TA, that's the first step. So that's basically after, I think, 2 sessions that make me comfortable, right? So you go to school, you go to class, set up, and get to know the kids, and have a good relationship with the teacher actually.
Yes.
Every week, right? So
Yes.
basically, each other trust each other, right? And actually help me to build the bonding with my kids as well, and also help me to basically treat my patients, loving, and also help actually every moment with the family and my spiritual life. Yeah.
So you can't overemphasize when you serve God, you can't overemphasize what comes back to you,
Yeah.
right? The world doesn't get that. The world just thinks we're nuts. But God's economy is so far, God's blessing is so far above the world's understanding. When you serve God, the blessing comes back to you so many times. You can't even count. So as Charles was just explaining, he didn't think about the relationship with the teacher, the relationship with his kids even improved. Who else will share? Who else wants to share something about your experience? I sent out lots of emails.
I can share. Actually, not experience. For TA, I just use 3 months for last section. And for me, when I decided to be a TA, just because I want to improve myself. Because I come into US just less than a year. And coming to church is even less than a year. And I think for me, I should learn a lot of things. So TA for me, I think I can learn from the teacher, the leader teacher. Even I think from kids. Not us teach them, but from them I can learn a lot. And I think today I'm here for train. This is first time for me for train. And I saw this list. This for me is very much. And I didn't think many things when I want to be a TA. And it's for me it's at the beginning I think it's very simple because I have no experience. I just even no train and no sample I saw. Just at the classroom I saw some TA for some. I think it's very easy just for cooperative. But actually, when I am to be a TA, I think things is not exactly as I imagined. I think because different grade is different challenge. It's quite different.
Right.
I thought it is for the 5th grade. At this age, I think no need to do much about like the video. You should do prepare many things. But the thing for me is very challenging. The kids knows much more than you maybe. My teacher leader is Irene. She is very experienced. For the course she prepared is always with questions, discussion. But for this, sometimes you should involve. TA should involve. You should involve and discuss with the kids. But sometimes you will feel, even you, myself, I don't know how to answer. Because the question is always challenged. But I think that for me it's interesting. I can learn and improve myself. This is the most important. And you know, I remember the one questions we discussed in the class is the superstar. Why God let the superstar in the world? And I also think it's over. I think everybody has their superstar, but different era, different, how to say, my English maybe not good enough. Like different age, you will have different superstar. But during that period, when I stay at school, I think my superstar is the teacher, leader teacher, and even the kids. They teach me a lot. So I think I'm interested and I'm appreciate church to offer me the chance to be ITA.
Yeah. Amen. Yeah. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Wow. You know, how many times are there teachers? There's Sunday school teachers in here as well. How many times when you're preparing your lesson, God is speaking to you and you're learning something new, right? So remember, we're always serving somebody. And who else should we be serving, right? But preparing and serving to the Lord. So thank you. That's a beautiful testimony. Anybody else? Anybody else? From the preschool department, anybody? Okay. It's very good to hear from TAs in action, veteran TA. Let's go to the last page. Oh, I have 5 minutes. It's incredible, but statistically, right? If a child has entrusted Christ by the tender age of 14, that window is 75% closed. That gives even more weight to children's ministry, right? We must reach our young people. Don't avoid the extreme position, jumping down. I've heard some parents say this, I'm going to let my child decide for himself or herself. Golly, why would you do that? Why would you throw them out to the world's religions and say, oh, go ahead, find the one that fits for you, when you know the truth? Jesus said, I am the way, and truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but by me. Period. That's it. That doesn't leave a lot of room for negotiation, right? So we don't need to accept that extreme position, nor should we push the child, right? To make, just because we're terrified and we want to hear the decision. Don't push them. Keep teaching them, right? Keep being a respectful parent. Keep taking them to respectful teaching, which we are, and respectful TA. That child is building the foundation. They are going to come to know Christ by, God willing, before age 14. Then that window closes. Watch their motivations. It's so great to send kids to summer camp. They love it. It's such a mountaintop experience. Have you had the summer camp experience? No? Only me? Okay. I went to camp. allows you unplug from the world, it's really great, right? And a lot of kids tend to make a decision for Christ at a camp experience, which is okay. But they come back to church, you have a relationship with them, we nurture them, we watch them, we are wise about we don't baptize till we can see, okay, yeah, they are ready, they know they're ready. So there's those protections in place. If Christianity is to survive into future generations, we must teach our children, our Christian children, to maintain a balance of truth and grace. And boy, that is not any more true than today in our polarized country, right? There's so many issues out there, and Christians we love to take positions and entrench. I do too. I'm guilty of that all the time. You know, I want to slap all the things on the wall that I believe in, and I want to force our kids to believe in that. You know, but I have to remember, God's in control. It's not about me. I have these children for this amount of time, and guess what? Another teacher's going to have them for a year. Another teacher. I don't have to feel like I'm the only one. It's got to happen now. No. Right? We're in here. Ministry is a marathon, right? Not a sprint. We all support each other. We all work for each other. We all say the same things. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. That child is going to get it. And our church is going to grow. Let your conversation be always full of grace, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how to answer everyone. So, any questions? Or is any? Okay. Oh, sorry. You have a question? Sorry.
Okay, I had the video showing in the preschooler, and like I had some experience with a little older kids,
Okay.
like maybe kindergartner or little like first grader.
Okay.
And they tend to be more like non-listening
Yeah.
and sometimes distract.
Yeah.
I just wondering how this we doing TA different than like a school TA? Are we doing can we take down for example if we call them listen to the teacher but it's not to?
Oh, we have a discipline. Do you mean like that?
Yeah, something
Yeah.
do we kick them out and how we do it?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And there's classroom rules, and there's a hierarchy. So they start with TA, right? And teacher needs to talk to them. Sometimes they need to go out to the hall, and sometimes they'll call this director. They'll call somebody. And so yes, I mean we have a similar thing, definitely. We try not to go there, right? We try not, but the teacher knows the students, and they will. What is a good thing is to separate kids, right? A lot of the boys will tend to get together, and even the girls too, and they're having fun, and praise the Lord, they like to come to church. Praise the Lord. But we just might need to separate them for certain parts of the lesson.
And my second question is up here is more like a 1 season, like 3 months or something like that.
Absolutely, it's a 3-month.
Yeah. Okay, and in 3 months, I feel like it's really short. If you don't know this person's something, and then it's only 3 weeks, and you. And sometimes I feel like if you want to discipline the student or something, it's before it's like you need to have a good relationship with them before. So.
Then you better serve for 6 months. I think that's what God's calling you. 6 months or 9 months. You're absolutely right. You're right. I mean, to build a relationship, it does take time. But you kind of be surprised how much you can get to know kids in 12 weeks. You can really, right? You can really get to know them. Anybody attest to that? Just me? Okay. You can get to know kids. But sign up again, serve again. What's also great in the church is you can stay with class, right? You can TA for 4th grade this year and 5th grade next year because those are 4th graders. And we're really, really flexible. This is your ministry. This is your church, right? These are your students. This is our body. We are the hands and the feet. It's not our hands, it's not our feet. not our mouth, not our eyes. Like we just sang with the kids, be careful little eyes, be careful little mouth. It is so true. It is so true. Use your hands, your feet, your mouth, your mind. Use it, surrender it to God, and become a TA. Anything else? Okay, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. If you want a copy, sign up here and I'll get you a soft copy of this my other form. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Welcome. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, it's still going on.
I know.